1969, look at jailbird, burger. Hey, 281. Hey, 281, jailbird. Hey, when 281 get out of the mall, that's when I heard that time around once again. 281 once again, 281 got a great big hammer. You got a great big hammer. 281 got a great big hammer in my way. 281 got a great big hammer out of the mall. I heard you that time around. I heard you that time around. 281. Jailbird 19 on the mail. Jailbird 19 on the mail. We're telling jailbirds on the mall. Telling jailbird, here come jailbird. Here come jailbird 19. Jailbird said leave him on the key. Leave him on the key 19. Jailbird, back. Leave him on the key. Hey jailbird, I heard you that time.
Sont souvent conditionnels. Premièrement, ce que nous demandons est-il conforme à la volonté de...
So Noah not only gets his honor from God,
preferring to read books instead of socializing with the other students. He excelled in swimming and was a member of the water polo team. He would later hold the position of professor of biology at
Come on, you ain't supposed to think you all on me. Come on, boys, it's all let's go on.
It's 20 to 30 knots, increasing to 25 to 35 knots. Is 5 to 9 feet. Tuesday night. North winds 20 to 30 knots. Is 5 to 9 feet. Wednesday. North winds 5 to 15 knots, becoming east to southeast. Is 3 to 5 feet. Wednesday night. The southeast winds 10 to 20 knots, becoming south 20 to 30 knots. Is 4 to 7 feet. Thursday. South to southwest winds 25 to 35 knots. Is 6 to 10 feet. Day night.
We right to you too, buddy.
Four male black teenagers holding the passenger side door open, kicking and assaulting a possible person that's living in the vehicle. It's code 3, incident 2187.
Yeah, boy, Booty Spanker, hey, Booty Spanker. That boy is bird, he trying to take control. Hey, Booty Spanker, the boy is bird trying to take control. Booty Spanker, Mr. 1969, talk to your radio, come on, buddy.
7 shooting incident occurred approximately 10 minutes ago.
Here comes jailbird 1969. Here comes jailbird 1969. Jailbird, brother. I don't hear no one that time around. I really sound like a bum at that time around. No one came my radio that time. Mr. 19 right back to the mail, buddy.
Use a semi-auto handgun. Outstanding. Okay, man.
Got 19 jailbird, said that's my last key. 19 jailbird, here comes jailbird. 19, that's my last key. Jailbird, get on down. Hey, Booty Spanker, I came in on the Bahamas. Hey, Booty Spanker, I come in on the Bahamas. You Roger, come on.
Automatic, good was an outstanding incident 2148.
Really good copy that time around, Booty Spanker. Hey, Booty Spanker, really good copy that time around. Don't pay no strain. Put it on your lead up, Mr. Booty Spanker. Appreciate it, Sunday wave. And happy Merry Christmas. And happy God bless you and your fine family. Be safe. 1969 Bahamas Radio. Yeah. Bar 19 to your bird. Bar 19 to your bird. 7, bye. Bye, we're just trying to go back to your board again with your main back.
We're going to be working east to west bound passenger at 2000. We're looking for you.
Studying wild animals, and he produced numerous academic papers on wildlife conservation. His reports were widely published, and to raise public awareness on the need to safeguard wildlife, he also often gave lectures and held exhibitions utilizing posters and photographs. He worked hard to protect the sanctuaries from deforestation and poaching, appealing to government agencies for support. He also prepared reports to propose the sanctuaries he was working in become listed as Natural World Heritage Sites by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO. Sub Nakasatian passed away on September 1st, 1990. His remarkable legacy is honored each year on the 1st of September, declared as Sub Nakasatian Day in Thailand. We are honored to have Mr. Pat Kredmali and Mrs. Kanokno Chankam, the Secretary General and the Project Coordinator of the Sub Nakasatian Foundation, share with us their stories and knowledge.
Visitez notre site web worldlasschance.com et lisez Le devoir civil du croyant. Encore une fois, lisez Le devoir civil du croyant sur worldlasschance.com. System will work for them because you don't need to wait in that really long line, and that's pretty time and energy consuming. And if you can book in advance, you can just have a green pass, which means you can enjoy the fast track service in the subway station, which means they will probably just designate another line for people who have make the reservation earlier. It's just like if you go to a theme park, there's a fast pass lane, and this may work in the same way in the subway station. But at the moment, this pilot program is only available for several stations in Beijing. And also, if so many people want to enjoy this fast track service, how do you know that they can successfully book one and make an appointment on the, I don't know, is it on the mini program or a system? On the app, yeah, or on the app. So it must so hard to secure one place in this fast track.
And considering so many people would be booking an booking a spot, let's say for just an example, 8 to 8 p.m. time slot, and then you make the
in one bottle we have a lot of
par certains éléments des forces d'Ukraine.
美福，人手所做的，必为自己的报应。愚妄人所行的，在自己眼中看为正直，为智慧人肯听人的劝教。愚妄人的恼怒立时显露，通达人能忍辱藏羞，说出真话。
Take my blood. Tell me, Mr. Scarab, where do your listeners do that?
Tout timbre aussi au bon moment, au bon endroit, lors de ce Nantes-Lance.
heves için bir anlık heyecanla dokunma ve oynama gururuma.我还能要求什么？除了你以外，还能依赖哪里？发现你以外，在呼喊的是什么？在多年以后，想回忆的是什么？不见。
파도와 겨울빛 바닷가 너와 나 추억에 난 속 행복만 히
Anyone out there hearing me in the United States, Canada, the offshore islands, over? Echo India 0, Charlie Lima, anyone aware? Echo India 0, Charlie Lima.
Hey, that's bullshit. That's what I have to talk about.
No, but that's not the point. The point is that the transceiver blew up not with high power, so the transceiver brings 100 watts, I don't know. But my point is just that it should be specified then in the manual that it should not exceed 25 or 35 watts in DC mode. Otherwise you are to overheat and you will burn everything.
Tango Maker. America Tango Maker. Good morning. Thank you very much for the call. Your 5A here in Barcelona, Spain. The name is London, Oscar Uniform.
Was dann noch ist, praktisch die Batterien laden und dann muss es wieder eine Zeit lang gut sein. Und da habe ich mir halt schon... Ja.
Радио 1941, Ольга Мария. Радио 1941,
Wo will der überhaupt?
Das versteht ja kein Mensch, was der da erzählt.
Aber der versteht, also der hört uns.
Ja, wir hören ihn ja auch.
Genau.
Ja.
Hey, was hab ich denn gemacht heute Nachmittag? Ja, hier Formel 1 geguckt und gepennt.
Ja, und ich hab mir was bestellt und da musste ich die Stecker alles vorbereiten und wenn ich das im Kopf habe, dann muss ich das machen, sonst werde ich narrisch.
Ja, so bist du nun mal.
Ja, so bin ich nun mal. Da gehe ich ran und in Kalle und die...
10 dB, allerdings dann auch wieder auf 4,9 runter. Naja, gut. Wie gesagt.
Angst, oder? Aber das ist jetzt auch nicht das Gelbe von mir. Und jetzt sind wir genau an dem Punkt, oder? Dass dann...
Oscar Victor 1 Charlie Delta X-ray, calling CQE and standing by.
Oscar Echo 3, Hotel Papa Tango.
Hotel Papa Tango, go ahead.
Oscar Echo 3, Hotel Papa Tango. Very good evening, Frank.
Yeah, good evening. Oscar Echo 3 Hotel Tango Papa. Oscar Victor 1 Charlie Delta X-ray. Yeah, good evening. You're 509. And my name's Frank here, Fox Radio Alpha Nancy Killer. IQDX living on the island of Sjælland here in Denmark.
Oscar Echo 3 Hotel Tango Papa. Oscar Victor 1 Charlie Delta X-ray, go ahead.
Oscar Echo 3 Hotel Papa Tango return. Thanks for your information, Frank. Here is speaking Thomas, Tango Hotel Oscar Mike Alpha Sierra. QTH here is 80 kilometers southwest from Vienna. My station is an ICOM IC 7300 with an MZ MFJ 1982, and my actually power is 100 watts. Your signal is 59 plus 59 plus. Oscar Victor 1 Charlie Delta X-ray from Oscar Echo 3 Hotel Papa Tango.
Yeah, okay, Thomas. Oscar Echo 3 Hotel Papa Tango. Oscar Victor 1 Charlie Delta X-ray. Thank you much, Thomas, for the report. And okay, and you're working there with the equipment ICOM 7300. ICOM 7300 is your radio. And you're working there with the 100 whiskey. It's good working there, Thomas.
Newer mode where you have 15 seconds turnover times, where you transmit 15 seconds, you listen 15 seconds, you transmit 15 seconds, and we can really hear this on the big tube amplifiers. They are never cooling down anymore, and so it's an obvious problem that those very short periods between transmit and receive make the problem. And the next big problem is
film production and mixed media.
Está a un nivelazo, pero nivelazo top. Yo creo que es uno de los jugadores que están marcando diferencias en esta liga sin ninguna duda.
Es impresionante, ¿eh? Cómo está Vinicius Junior. Está de verdad en un momento brillante, y sobre todo lo que decimos, la toma de decisiones. Era lo que erraba la temporada, las últimas temporadas, pero ahora sí, ahora ha perfilado bien, sobre todo cuando...
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and have a great holiday season coming up. WB2LOI is clear. 73.
Roger, happy. Thank you very much for the candidate. Also, happy holidays coming up. And wish you enjoy the Christmas season. So, 73 and wish another board. 555955 East Coast and New York. Over.
Oh, thank you, Wisconsin for the 5.
Delta Kilo. Continuing LPR. Echo Sierra. Good copy. Go ahead, please.
Kilo 4 Sierra, Uniform Echo. Kilo 4 Sierra, Uniform Echo.
Okay, K4 Sugar United Echo. K4 Sue. This is Echo Alpha 3, Alpha Kilo Papa. 59 plus. Excellent copy. I'm John in Girona Province. QSL. QSL, got it that day. Thank you very much for the 10 over 9 in South Carolina. 59 plus 10 as well for you here in Girona. Dave, please stand by and exchange report with my partner, EA3AR and the one. Thank you, John. Kilowatt 4, Sugar United Echo. This is Echo Alpha 3 Alpha Romeo. Very good evening, Dave. Thank you very much for the call. You 59 with me. 59, good copy near Barcelona. Name is Joe. Julie, that's correct. Our copy, over. Roger, Dave. No problem at all. Fine copy, I'll be here. And thank you for my report. Read the start
I haven't figured that out yet. I have to see the tubes that I have, but what they recommend is a 12, I think it's a 12 dB streak. It's like a pentagrid converter, and they use that as the modulator to modulate the carrier, and also the carrier, the oscillator and modulator together there. You feed the audio in on, I think it's one of the grids you feed it in on, and then the rest of it is an oscillator, and it mixes, so it modulates the oscillated signal. But that's what they say, that's what they use on the diagram. I have to look at what tubes I have. I don't know if I have that exact tube in my collection. But I'm sure I've got some pentagrid converters. It may not be that tube, and I just have to, duplicate or rearrange the pinout, for the tube that I use. But that's what they have there, Larry. N3AIF from WA3YPZ.
Okay, WA3YPZ N3F. Yeah, that sounds like a familiar tube.
Yeah, that's carrier voltage. Above the carrier voltage.
Right.
I don't see, I can't tell here because I'm just blanking the scope out when I talk.
Yeah, I have the same problem here. I can't look at my own signal. Sometimes I have to go to another SDR, to try to, to look at my signal. And a lot of times, it doesn't copy me, you know what I mean?
Well, if I got the SDR IQ in line, using it as a scope indicator, whatever,
have put the topic on the agenda for many states around the world, and specifically for the United Nations, where in Geneva at the conference for certain conventional weapons, CCW, they've been discussing banning or regulating these systems since 2014. So I think the public pressure here is quite important, but it can only go so far, because in the end you need the states really involved with efforts of arms control or try not to develop these systems. When it comes to the private sector, it can be difficult for scientists to really see whether something is civilian or military, how it can be used eventually. And, to come back to Adam's earlier point, whether this is necessarily bad, because just because it's used by the military, if it's the military of a democratically controlled state, making that military better arguably isn't a bad thing. So this is tricky.
What do you think is the likelihood that we will get international political agreement on how to move forward with this?
I think it's very unlikely, to be honest. I mean, I've been following the discussions in Geneva quite closely, and they are largely stuck for a number of reasons. A, because it genuinely is tricky, and B, because the technology is developing and there are different interests and the current political climate is tricky. To be honest, I don't expect any kind of real treaty or ban or anything like this to be put into force anytime soon. That being said, I still think that these discussions are incredibly important, because they could establish at least a little bit of soft norms, a soft law, an agreement of what we really need to avoid. And I kind of acknowledge
acknowledgement and awareness to not go completely in the wrong direction and then wake up one morning and realize that yeah, we've really took the wrong path. But I have to admit I'm somewhat pessimistic.
Okay, final question. And I suppose this is a question which is thematic for the whole series, really, but I want to ask it specifically about what we're talking about in this subject, which is AI in warfare. Is there something qualitatively different about the development of AI in warfare compared to the many, many historical technological developments of, I don't know, just the 20th century that have enabled more efficient and more effective warfare?
I would say yes. I think the biggest difference is the fact that you no longer, or you may no longer have human beings making over life and death, and you may have computers autonomously taking these decisions, and that is a qualitatively new thing.
And yet again, it sounds like we really are entering into new territory with artificial intelligence. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Ulrike Franke. Next week's episode is going to be fractally more cheery, but no less important. We're going to be talking about how AI will change the way that we work.
Let's imagine that technology creates a twin of every person. Your twin is a bit more cheerful, a bit less hungover, and willing to work for nothing. How many of you would still have a job?
I'm Hannah Fry.
And I'm Adam Rutherford, and we'll see you next week.
Rutherford and Fry on Living with AI was presented by Adam Rutherford and Hannah Fry. The producer was Melanie Brown. On BBC Radio 4.
We have no prairies to slice a big sun at evening. I love the dark drop, the trapped sky.
Seamus Heaney's Life and Poetry.
I rhyme to see myself.
Read by Adrian Dunbar.
He admitted the additional pressures of publishing since his Nobel Prize, and an inner voice saying, you ought to button up, tighten your belt, and come out fighting.
On Seamus Heaney by Roy Foster.
Noli temere. Don't be afraid.
Starting tomorrow morning at 9:45 on Radio 4 and BBC Sounds. The Westminster Hour is next, but there's just time for a quick weather beforehand. Tonight, northwest Scotland and the Northern Isles will be very windy, with rain giving way to clear spells and showers. The rest of Scotland, Northern Ireland and northernmost England will be windy for a time, but the strong winds will ease and many areas will become dry with clear spells, mostly cloudy elsewhere with rain for some. And that's your weather.
BBC Radio 4, it's 10 o'clock. Welcome to 60 minutes of news and conversation with me, Carolyn Quinn, and my guests. This is the Westminster Hour. The main news tonight, Boris Johnson has announced a national mission to offer COVID booster jabs to all adults in England by the new year, warning of an approaching tidal wave of the Omicron variant. The Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, has said it looks as though Boris Johnson broke the law last December when he took part in a virtual quiz at Downing Street. Max Verstappen has snatched the Formula One World Championship from Lewis Hamilton in a dramatic and controversial final Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. Coming up, exactly 2 years after his general election triumph, the Prime Minister is engulfed by problems. His leadership's under question. There are crucial up in Westminster and in a by-election, and the rapidly spreading COVID variant is piling on the pressure. The President of the British Chambers of Commerce voices her fears about what's next for business after the raising of the COVID alert level.
That would indicate that we could well be heading towards more restrictions. And if we are, then I think the government needs to set
Kilo Delta 2, Papa Bravo Zulu 59128. Thank you. You're dead. Lima United 8, Delta Papa Mike. Lima United 8, Delta Papa Mike. Kilo Florida 2 Yankee 591429. New Jersey Roger. Your number 591429. 1429. Thank you. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. Contact. Kilo Alpha 1 Zulu Delta. Your 591430. Thank you. QRZ. Whiskey 2 Delta Alpha Sierra, your 591431. Thank you. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. London United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Contact. Kilo 2 Alpha Oscar Echo 591432. Thank you. Again. Kilo 9 Oscar what? Kilo 9 Oscar Mexico 591433. Thank you. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. Chiqui Contest Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. CQ, Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Contest. Kilo Charlie 3 Japan again. KC3 JPP 591434. Thank you, sir. Cure that. Kilo Bravo 2 Lima Oscar Italy 591435. Russell, you're in New Jersey? Thank you. Cure that. Chiqui Contest Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Whiskey Alpha 1 Tango 591436. No, negative. You're 591436. Thank you, sir. Cure that. Whiskey 2 Canadá Lima América 591437. Gracias. Cure that. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. CQ, Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Counter. Contest Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Lima Uniform 8 Delta Papa Mike. Contest. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Contest. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. London United 8 Delta Papa Mike. Contest. Chiqui Contest Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Contest. Chiqui Contest Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mexico. Lima United 8 Delta Papa Mike. Contest. Lima United 8 Delta Mike. Contest. I go to Charlie Whiskey, QSY. Thank you. Papa X-Ray 2 Alpha. CQ Contest, Papa X-Ray 2 America, Papa X-Ray 2 America.
Sticky contest, Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha, Papa X-ray to America, contest. Sticky contest, Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha, Papa X-ray to America, contest. November again? Wait, November again? November Japan again? November 5, Queen Japan, 591297. Thank you, you are 591297. 591297 from Papa X-ray to America. Thank you, Curtis. Papa X-ray to America, contest. Papa X-ray to Alpha, Papa X-ray to America. CQ contest, Papa X-ray to Alpha, Papa X-ray to America, CQ contest. CQ contest, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, contest. CQ contest, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, contest. CQ contest, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, contest. Germany 591298, thank you, Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, 299, 7. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, contest. Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, contest. CQ contest, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, Charlie X-ray 7, Sugar, contest. For the Echo, 599 number 76. Freeway 3 Delta Mike Tango 591301. X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Contest. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Contest. 4 USB 591302. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. CQ contest. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Contest. CQ contest. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Contest.
Whiskey 8, Mike Oscar X-ray.
Mike Oscar X-ray, you call?
Whiskey 8, Mike Oscar X-ray, over.
W8 MOX 591303.
QSL, you are 44 Victor Alpha. Good luck.
Thank you, good luck. Papa X-ray to America. Papa Uniforme 3, Kilo India Tango 591304. 1304. Obrigado, Cristiana. São Leopoldo, um abraço. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. CQ contest. Kilo November 4, Delta November Delta. Is correct. Kilo November 4, try again. Copy, Kilo November 4, try again. America, contact. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. November 2, again. CM2M 591306. Papa X-ray to America. 019 Germany. C9 Go Factory 59307. Papa X-ray to America. November again. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America. Contest. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha. Delta 8, Queen Delta P 591308. Kilo Delta 8, Quebec, Delta Quebec 591308. Thank you, Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha, Papa X-ray to America. Report Delta Echo 5909. Thank you, Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to Alpha, Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Sticky contest, Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Sticky contest, Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Kilo November 4, United Quebec 9. Kilo November 4, Kilo November 4, try again. Kilo November 4, United Quebec, Mexico, you got 591310, got it? Thank you very much. Papa X-ray to America, contest. Papa X-ray to Alpha, Papa X-ray to America. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Thank you, contest. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Thank you, contest. Thank you. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Thank you, contest. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to Alpha. Papa X-ray to America, contest. Thank you, contest. Papa X-ray to America, Papa X-ray to America, contest. Nice, that's up. Thank you. Take your cop.